Good afternoon. So, Biswajit from Greenwaves Environmental Solutions. So, since the time does not permit, I'll just like to share a few things we are doing in the e-waste sector. Basically, Greenwaves started in 2016 with the focus on electronic waste in the very beginning. So I would have showed a few good case studies that we have been doing specifically in the sector of e-waste upcycling and plastic waste upcycling. So without the feed, I don't know. But I'll tell you a few stories. Like with the printed circuit boards, we have upcycled them to jewelries. We have used CDs to make, because the waste CDs, we cannot just recycle them just like that. So we have upcycled the waste series into some, small showpieces. And then, of course, there are different other projects which we are working on, specifically with floral. We are collecting. I think Madam was talking about the waste generated in the function. So we are collecting all the floral wastes functions as well as from the temples and converting them into soaps, incense sticks, and sometimes the coconut shells. We are also upcycling them. So there are all these, and I was very happy to hear about pyrolysis in many. I mean, all of the speakers focus on pyrolysis because I have personally worked on pyrolysis, and we are trying to develop. We have already worked on like putting pyrolysis as a pre-treatment process for kick-starting the recovery of materials from printed circuit boards, because usually they are going into the pyrometallurgical process. So we are trying to, yeah, please go ahead, change the slides. Next, 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 another. Yeah, so here's a little concern with the e-waste recyclers that the metals are decreasing and the plastic portion is increasing. So while the most of the money is with the metals, but still we will need to look into the plastic sector. So that's why we need to intervene. Next. Yeah, so the life cycle, we need to focus on the fourth phase because everybody is working on the phase of recycling the e-waste, but we need to also focus on the repair and refurbish phase. And there is a vibrant second-hand market which is not, which is not operating formally, but we need to look into that because there is a big, opportunity where we can tap into. Next. And we have several aspects of e-waste management. We only talk about the cleaner production or circular economy or urban mining, but then there are other aspects as well. One of the biggest aspects we need to talk about is the information security and the intelligent and smart systems. The disruptive technologies are coming into the picture and how they can help in solving the problem, and as well as how they are themselves creating a problem of e-waste. So we also need to look into that. Next, please. Next, please. So the supply chain is very, very complex, and then there is a sector called the informal sector. So from the trade rejects, from the charities, go back please. From the trade rejects, from the charities, and from the repairing perspective. So all these things, that is semi-informal sector who are collecting this, repairing this, and reselling this. So there is another. This is another sector which exists, but which we do not acknowledge. We need to acknowledge them, and we need to put them into the value chain, and see how we can play with them. And here are some examples of a few known famous e-waste recyclers. Next. So about the technologies we all know, and already pyrolysis and plasma process are there. They are operating in Japan and Canada for long time, and recently Japan is also coming up with plastic pyrolysis with the HICOP process, where they operate at 450 degrees centigrade. So pyrolysis is picking up. This is another we are looking into specifically, that where we can harvest the existing parts from the electronic components from the electronic waste, and how we can bring them back into the value chain. Next. And here are some case studies. Next. Next. So we all very aware of this, already mentioned. Next. So we need to. There are some cases where we are told that partner with the informal sector, but it's very, very tough. There are some pilot projects going on, but still we can harvest their collection efficiency. Next. And this is a case study of Bhanga Mela in West Bengal. So Bhanga Mela literally means the fair of broken items, and every year in the mid-January this fair takes place. So you can get all sorts of broken e-waste and e-waste parts. You can also get refurbished CFLs and old furniture, antiques. So it's a fair where you can get all sorts of things, all old stuff. and it's organized by the local ULB on the occasion of Makar Sankranti, and it has a turnover of nearly 2 crore of INET. So that's what I was talking about, the second-hand market. So this is a fair, and think about the second-hand market that exists here and there. Next. So this is the typical price range of the the e-waste that this is there. Next. And next. So this is kind of this is the kind of equipments we are having in our country. Not only the informal sector, we also have a very large number of players for cable stripping and all those. These are from one of the e-waste recycling companies in India. Next. And the gold recovered from the e-waste that has been used to create such sculptures, these are gold plated, recovered from e-waste. So we can do this. Next. And in China they have model plants, like they have recovered materials from I think this is from a CFL. Next. And this is from a refrigerator. So what kind of metals they have recovered from one refrigerator. Next. And there was one circular economy complex in China where there were 120 companies, and they were in sort of industrial symbiosis where they would tackle different types of wastes. So I think this is a learning we can take from China, and we can implement something similar here, but not exactly that. We have our own challenges, we have our own advantages. We should just take the learning kind of concept, and then we Indianize it and we use it in our own way. This is something we can look forward to in the future for maybe a circular economy park or something like that. Next. This is something that's going on in Taiwan, a similar kind of processing lines. So both manual and sorting with machines as well. Next. This is in UK. Again, they are utilizing both the machines and manual sorting. Next. And then this is how they are stored separately and sent to for further sister concerns. Next. In Germany, there is a great thing where you can just dump your e-waste in any of the stores, and you can also buy the second-hand equipments, and you can take out something from the those baskets. If you need, say, a part of it, you want to harvest a part, you can get them and take them to the repair cafes where you can repair them. Next. In Belgium, we all know about Umicore, who were working in this area. So Umicore is one of the largest metal smelter, and even some of our, some of the recyclers from our country, they send their printed circuit boards to Umicore as well. So, but they recover all these 17 kinds of metal based on pyrometallurgical process. But this is where pyrolysis can help us in kickstarting the process as a pre-treatment process. Next. This is Veena Sajwala. She's an Indian origin material scientist. So she developed the e-waste microfactory. So according to her, this is the future where in just like a room like this, you can have a microfactory and you can recover materials out of that, and specifically complex part of the e-waste like the printed circuit board. Next. So these are some of the alloys they have recovered from in their microfactory. Next. And the big challenge is the e-waste plastic, the plastic from e-waste. So they have already patented 3D printing filament from e-waste plastics, and this is something we can look into because there's a lot of e-waste plastics which end up in landfill. So this is not only just patented, and the news from the last month only. So some company has already got the patent, and they are producing these filaments commercially in Australia. Yeah, just 2-3 minutes. Next. So again, some of other recyclings, and then coming to waste upcycling next. So I'm not going to deep in plastic waste. So there are some ways you can upcycle plastic waste as well. Next, electronic waste can also be upcycled. So the bottom row, yeah, you can see we have upcycled some of the products into jewelry. Next, and then these are made from CDs and cassettes and cassette reels. Next, this is we have upcycled motherboards and others, and CFL bulbs and RAM. Next. And these were some upcycled CDs. Next. And then we have a lot of alternatives to combat plastic waste. Next. So tote bags, banana leaves, we all are very aware of that, but we need to bring back sal leaves. Next. Areca nuts are also there. So we need to bring them back into the system and phase out the single-use plastics. Next. There are some startups working on edible glasses as well in Indonesia. Next. And we also have, just go back once, just please go back. Yeah, so this was in India. Bakey's came up with this concept, and there are some manufacturers also doing this kind of cutlery. Next. So reusable items are there. Next. So next. So there are other eco-friendly items where packagings are made out of mushrooms as well. Next. So thing is about climate change, how we can help. Next, about how we can help mitigating climate change using by recycling e-waste. Next, so this is a very basic way. So e-waste that is not recycled contributes about 4.5% of the greenhouse gas emissions. So by part harvesting, by recycling, by repairing and refurbishing, we can bring down the impacts of climate change. Next, how we can do that. Next, so basically the solution is circular economy. Next, and here I introduce the concept of the material recovery ability. Next, so here basically this is a very uh, common diagram we know, but what I suggest is that the introduce pyrolysis as a pre-treatment process where you can kickstart the process of recovering something out of the polymer part in the printed circuit. Small char and metal separation unit, and you can recover the metal rich fractions, and as well as you can recover the glass fibers as well, which you can reroute them to the cement factories. So you can have it under one umbrella, you can have it under one zone in small caps, but we need an integrated facility to have better e-waste recycling and get better money out of it. Next. So just combine urban mining, good supply chain, and the integrated facility to achieve the circular economy. And of course, policy instruments there, which have been discussed in the beginning. Next. And repair and refurbish cafes. This is a new concept in the West, but we already have them. Everywhere we have a radio. We go there and ask, "Bhaiya, ye repair kar do." So we have them, and as Madam spoke in the beginning, that some of them are coming here for the training. So yes, increase awareness, have as many as drives as possible. Next. Next, and as an awareness activity, we did this last year. These were a Christmas tree made from 17 types of waste, and in December, and it was also there in the news. So this was an awareness creating event, and it was there for more. We kept it there, and 17 types of waste we used, including electronic. And just read and educate. Here are some books we have edited, and you can look into them. There are some case studies available there. Next. And we have also come up with a e-waste song, and we are trying to convert, works are going on for Hindi, Tamil, and Kannada versions to generate awareness. And so there is no conclusion. There is a way to sustainability. Next. So so partner with the informal sector, more repair and refurbish cafes, highlight them, make them official, increase awareness, good CE policy framework, efficient supply chains, and all those stuff. So that's all from our side. Thank you.